Hey guys, alright, it's Q&A time, and this is the second time I'm uploading this video because the first time I did it, it ended up being like 17 minutes long, so I've got to keep this at 15 minutes or something. So let me get into this really fast here. Maid of Frankenstein asked me, what do you value most in life? Well, besides the obvious, of course, like family, I would have to say good friends. Ones that you can talk to, ones that you can be honest with, and just good, true friends. I think that's something that there's not that many of today. Who are your heroes? I can't really point to one person, but I will have to go to the WWE and say Shawn Michaels, just because of everything that he was able to overcome from the 90s till today, just the way that he was able to change and transform himself. I think that he is somebody that like anybody can admire. What moments in your life shaped who you are today? I would probably have to say most recently when I had surgery. Obviously it made me physically stronger, but I feel like it made me mentally stronger too, most definitely. And did a serious gal like you watch cartoons when you were little? Absolutely yes. It was all about Nickelodeon. I love me some Nickelodeon, Nicktoons. There was this cartoon on in the early 90s or late 80s. It was called David the Gnome. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but it's awesome. And of course I watched Doug and Rugrats. And what other cartoons were there? There was a ton of cartoons on Nickelodeon. I can't remember but a few of them. But absolutely yes, I did. And which diva do you think best represents you, and what qualities could you bring to that diva to change her? I would have to say Beth Phoenix probably best represents me. Because she's physically strong, she's intelligent, she's pretty, she's tough. She's not like, divas that will remain nameless. Okay, not really. Kelly Kelly. She's not going to remain nameless because I'm not a big Kelly Kelly fan at all. I don't think she represents divas at all what they should be. And of course, what qualities would I bring to Beth Phoenix to change her? I wouldn't change a thing about Beth Phoenix because she's awesome the way she is. Divas of Destruction forever. Alright, next question was from Wrestling Geniuses, who asked me, what are your thoughts on my YouTube show, his YouTube show? I like it a lot. It's very good. It's very entertaining. I like people that mix a little bit of humor, comedy into their wrestling reviews. So keep up the good work. I really like your show a lot. Next question was from Andrew Rocks You, who asked me, do you go to any indie shows? And if so, is there anyone you have seen that deserves to be in the WWE? I've never been to one indie show, so I really can't answer this. The indie people that I know are the people that everybody knows, like Colt Cabana and some people that are in TNA that are also on the indie scene, so I can't really answer that one. I'd love to go to an indie show though. I think that'd be really cool. Because at indie shows I feel like you can get more up close to the wrestlers. Vince DeGator asked me, what video game systems do you own? I actually don't have a PlayStation or a Wii or an Xbox because I hardly ever play video games. I only have Nintendo GameCube and Super Nintendo, as sad as that is. And what is your fave gaming system if you have multiple consoles? Only have those two consoles, so I don't know. I like Super Nintendo. As old school as it is, I really like it a lot. And what is your favorite game of all time? Probably Mario Brothers. Anything Mario related. Mario Kart. I love that game. I used to play it all the time. I still have it and I still play it. It's awesome. Alright, Wrestling is My Life 95 asked me, what was the defining moment when you watched wrestling and thought, wow, this is why I watch the sport? I wouldn't say that this was the moment, but I would say most recently at WrestleMania 27 when it was Triple H versus The Undertaker. I love that match a lot. It's probably a match I could watch over and over again. And when there were so many near falls, especially when you thought the streak was going to be broken, Triple H almost beat The Undertaker, that was kind of when I thought, this is awesome. I mean, I really liked that match a lot. I don't know if anyone else would agree about that match, but I liked it a lot. That was probably the most recent time when I was just proud to be a wrestling fan. Also, one wrestler who deserves or deserved a main event push. There's actually several here. Number one, probably Kofi Kingston. Even though he gets a lot of hate, a lot of people don't like him, but I think he just needs more of a chance on the mic. He needs to like learn work more on his promo skills. But he's already got the ring skills. He's already awesome in the rings. He just needs to work on his promo skills. And also another guy who once he improves his in-ring skills, he will go far. Is Alex Riley. A lot of people probably say that he's better as a heel. I kind of agree with that, but I think he just needs to be given more of a chance. And then on SmackDown, someone that's kind of lost his spot is Wade Barrett, who I think is awesome. And someone back on Raw who has sort of lost his spot is The Miz, who deserves, I think, to be in the main events again. I think he will, but give it time. And what other sports do you enjoy watching? Not really that many. Not a big sports fan. Watch basketball sometimes. That'd probably be the only sport that I would be interested in besides wrestling. Next question was from Rochelle973. She asked me, how did you get into wrestling? My brother actually got me into wrestling in late 97, early 98. This was just before WrestleMania 14. It was right in the middle of the Attitude Era. Best time ever, in my opinion, to become a fan. I would go in there in his room and ask him who everybody was, and the first person he told me about ever was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he told me what he was all about. I thought Stone Cold was just awesome, and from then on, every week I would just kind of watch more and more, and soon I became obsessed with it. What is your favorite Sheamus moment? I would have to say right now is my favorite Sheamus moment. His face turn is probably my favorite Sheamus moment. You would probably expect me to say his title wins, both of his title runs, but the first time he won the title, I actually was not a fan of him. I was actually mad when he won the WWE title for the first time, and when he won it the second time, I was happy. But I think his face turn now is one of the best things that's ever happened to his career. Favorite wrestling moment ever? That's a tough one because there's been a lot of moments. But one that comes to mind was 2002, Triple H's return, when the crowd in Madison Square Garden just went crazy and he got that huge ovation and they had to play his ring music over about 2 or 3 times. That was probably one of the moments that I remember the most. And favorite wrestler of all time besides Sheamus and Del Rio, I would have to say Shawn Michaels. Yeah, I actually have several, but of all time I would say Shawn Michaels because he really was and is the total package. He's great on the mic, great in the ring. He's just the best. And my favorite TV show ever, as lame as it sounds, I would have to say Full House because I've seen that show. I've seen every episode of it. I would say 15 to 20 times. I don't know why I grew up on that show, so I watch it still all the time and I love it. I can't help it. And she also asked me, your childhood dream. I wanted to be a dental hygienist back in the day. Don't know why. It just interested me. But yeah, I know that's weird. Okay, next question was from TreyIsSexy87. She asked me, have you ever considered writing fan fiction about your favorite WWE superstar? If you did, I would probably read them. I actually have wrote a couple of fanfics, one with Sheamus, of course, and one with Alberto Del Rio, but I haven't published them, and I probably won't just because I don't know, they're my stories, and I might publish them, I don't know. Alright, next question was from Dashing Kevin Walsh, who asked me, did you like Jack Swagger before he got all serious? Not really. I've never been a Jack Swagger fan, nothing against him, but I don't know, he's good in the ring. I think he's a really good wrestler, but his personality just never interested me, so I have never been a fan of him. That could change, I don't know, but at this moment, not a big Swagger fan. Alright, RKO2582 asked me, since you're an 80s music buff, who are your top 5 80s bands / singers? This is a hard one too because I got a lot of favorite bands. I'm going to name off the 5 that come to mind though. Number 1, Def Leppard. Number 2, Depeche Mode. Number 3, Tears for Fears. Number 4, Journey. Number 5, INXS. And I have a lot of other favorites too, like Level 42, The Scorpions, Pet Shop Boys, Human League, Duran Duran. The list goes on. If you want to know, just ask me about music, because I'm way into 80s music. And if you met Seamus, what would you say to him? I've thought a lot about this one. In all honesty, it would probably be something really boring. I would just tell him that he's awesome, he's my favorite wrestler, and I might ask him how it feels to be a face now because he was a heel for so long. I guess it just kind of depends on if he had time to talk to me. I would just tell him how amazing he was. I'm probably not going to be like, oh, I want to marry you. Just marry me now, you're so hot. I'm probably not going to say that. And what's your 5 favorite childhood movies? I don't really know. I don't really remember all the movies that I saw as a kid. I remember really loving The Lion King, thinking that was just the greatest movie I'd ever seen. I can't name 5, I'm sorry, but I really did love The Lion King. I actually went out and bought Lion King figures, action figures, and toys. They were great. And finally, the 123 Kidman 2 asked me, what are some of your interests besides wrestling? I would have to say anything classic or old or vintage. I love the 50s, anything from the 50s, even going back to the 40s. I love anything to do with James Dean. I'm a huge James Dean fan, slightly obsessed with him. Um, yeah, I also love, of course, 80s music, any kind of music. I'm just a music lover, but especially 80s, even going back to like the 70s music too. I like to write, and hey, I like watching wrestling. Did you guys know I like watching wrestling? You didn't, did you? Well, now you know. Alright? Just kidding. Thank you guys for the questions. I'm sorry that I had to rush through this because I had to make it 15 minutes or less, or else it wouldn't post. So yeah, again, thank you for the questions, thanks for the subs, and you guys are awesome. I'll see you guys later. Bye.